This video reveals how women cheat without leaving clues, emotionally, silently, and strategically. You'll learn the hidden signs, why most never see it coming, and how to build the kind of presence that keeps her loyal without control. Let's get into it. She won't change her passwords. She won't hide her phone. She won't act suspicious. Why? Because the moment she cheats, it won't feel like cheating to her. She'll say, "We drifted apart." She'll say, "It just happened." But the truth is, she left long before anything physical ever happened. And that's the part most people never see. They think cheating is a moment. But for women, it's a process. It starts in silence. It starts in dissatisfaction. It starts in the space where emotional connection used to live. She won't scream. She won't confess. She'll smile, nod, and carry on. Because she already made peace with losing you. You just didn't feel it until she was gone. This is your wake-up call. You don't prevent cheating by watching her. You prevent it by watching yourself. How you show up, how present you are, and whether you're giving her the kind of leadership she'd never want to lose. Let's break it down. Number 1. Why women cheat without leaving a trace. Cheating, for women, is rarely spontaneous. It's not wild or reckless. It's intentional, calculated, emotional. It's something they've justified internally long before anything physical ever occurs. By the time she's texting another man, she's already convinced herself that you don't care, that you've stopped noticing her, that your presence is mechanical. She sees you there, but she doesn't feel you anymore. And when someone doesn't feel emotionally held, they go searching for that feeling again. Not because they're evil, but because they've already accepted that what you once had is gone. You thought everything was fine. She wasn't angry, she wasn't yelling, she wasn't accusing. But that's the problem. Her silence wasn't peace. It was absence. Her calm wasn't loyalty. It was detachment. Women cheat with a smile, with politeness, with subtle shifts in energy that most never catch, because by the time she cheats physically, she's already justified it emotionally. Number 2. Subtle warning signs. You're losing her. Men cheat recklessly. Women cheat quietly. She plans, she rationalizes, she emotionally exits first, so that when she acts, she doesn't feel like she's cheating. To her, the betrayal already happened when you became passive, when you stopped noticing, when she felt alone next to someone who thought being present meant being there. The most dangerous part about losing someone is that it doesn't start with an explosion. It starts with a whisper, a shift, a soft detachment so quiet you almost miss it. When you're losing her, she doesn't scream. She stops sharing. She doesn't accuse. She stops caring. She doesn't argue, because she's already emotionally gone. At first it's small. You walk into the room and her eyes don't light up anymore. You say something funny, and she just nods instead of laughing. You reach out to touch her, and she pulls back ever so slightly. Not enough to alarm you, but enough to leave a trace of doubt. She starts doing things without telling you, not because she's hiding something, but because she's no longer thinking of you as part of her process. She plans a night out and doesn't ask if you're free. She buys something new and doesn't tell you about it. Her phone used to sit face up. Now it's always screen down. She used to look at you during silence. Now she looks at the wall, or her phone, or nothing. You try to spark a conversation, and she responds, but it's dry, passive, surface level, no depth, no curiosity, no engagement. It feels like pulling teeth just to get her to stay present with you for 5 minutes. And when you ask her if something's wrong, she says, "I'm just tired," or "You're overthinking," or worse, "I'm fine." That word, Fine is the kiss of death in emotional connection. It means I don't want to fight. It means I've said this already, and I won't say it again. It means I'm gone, but I'm still here. You notice she starts complimenting other people's ambition, passion, drive, but not yours. She used to look at you like you were everything. Now she looks at you like you're familiar, comfortable, safe, but not magnetic. And comfort is the final phase before disinterest. When she no longer seeks your attention, input, or presence. When she no longer lights up when you succeed. When she no longer craves your leadership. You're not in danger of losing her. You already lost her. You're just now catching up to the energy shift she felt weeks ago. And it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Because the signs were always there. You just got used to ignoring them until it became impossible. The question isn't whether she's pulling away. The question is, are you still present enough to feel it before someone else replaces the presence she's starving for? Wake up, not to chase, not to panic, but to reclaim the awareness you were born with. Because emotional loss doesn't start with silence. It starts when you stop noticing what the silence means. Number 3. The invisible affair, when it starts in her mind. The affair begins the moment another man makes her feel seen, heard, curious, alive. He doesn't need to touch her. He just needs to understand her better than you do. He listens without being distracted. He notices what you stopped noticing. He asks questions you stopped asking. That's all it takes. One emotional spark. And now, when she's with you, she's comparing the two energies. One is rooted in routine, the other in novelty. Soon, she starts smiling at her phone. Her mood lifts when she gets certain texts. She begins grooming differently, maybe exercising more, not because of you, but because she's trying to impress someone who hasn't earned what you lost. This is where cheating begins, not in a hotel room, but in a compliment that hits deeper than it should, in attention that sticks longer than expected. And while you're distracted thinking everything is fine, her loyalty is fading. Number 4. Why she's harder to catch than you think. She doesn't slip. She doesn't stutter. She doesn't drop clues the way you think. You expect guilt, tears, maybe a sudden change in mood. But when she's emotionally gone, she's already rehearsed her new life without you in it. So she's calm, collected, smiling, not because everything's okay, but because she's already justified her exit. You think you'll catch her cheating by noticing new behavior, but the truth is, the signs aren't new. They're the absence of what once was. It's not about what she's doing, it's about what she stopped doing. She stopped being curious. She stopped craving intimacy. She stopped looking for your eyes in a crowded room. And now she's harder to catch, because she's not hiding. She's detached. This is why it's so dangerous. Because you confuse her calm for loyalty. You confuse her kindness for commitment. You confuse her silence for peace. But in reality, she's emotionally on vacation. And you're just the Airbnb she hasn't left yet. She doesn't delete messages because she uses apps that don't save them. She doesn't sneak off because she knows exactly when you're not paying attention. She's not sloppy because her mind is ahead of her body by months. You think because she sleeps next to you, she's yours. You think because she kisses you goodnight, she's still present. But when a woman emotionally exits a connection, she becomes two people. The one who stays for routine, and the one who leaves through fantasy, texts, and imagination. She's harder to catch because she's clean. She keeps her routine. She smiles at the right times. She posts the right pictures. She responds when expected. But there's no soul behind it. And if you try to confront her too early, she'll gaslight the hell out of you. You're insecure. You're just overthinking. You need to trust me more. She won't lash out. She'll make you doubt yourself. And now you're not just hurt. You're questioning your own instincts. That's the power of subtle betrayal. It doesn't attack you head on. It drains your clarity. It erodes your gut feeling. And eventually, you start walking on eggshells. Not because she's aggressive, but because she's emotionally unpredictable. The average person can't catch this, because they're looking for chaos. But her betrayal doesn't come with chaos. It comes with a smile and a hollow, "I love you." And by the time you realize what happened, she's already emotionally bonded to someone else. This is why you must stop relying on surface behavior to measure loyalty. Start measuring energy, presence, depth, attention. Because the body doesn't cheat first, the emotions do. And once they're gone, it's only a matter of time before the rest follows. Number 5. How to keep her loyal without begging. You cannot prevent betrayal through fear. You prevent it through presence. You can't babysit someone into faithfulness. You create an emotional reality that makes loyalty effortless. You do this by becoming a leader, not just in status or goals, but in emotional energy. You listen with focus. You speak with direction. You move with clarity. You don't seek to impress. You seek to lead. You don't beg for attention. You command respect, not through force, but through grounded stillness. The highest form of loyalty is voluntary. It's when someone looks at everything the world offers and still chooses you, not because they're trapped, but because they'd never risk losing what they have with you. That's the kind of presence that makes cheating unthinkable, not because it's forbidden, but because it would feel like trading gold for gravel. Loyalty isn't about fear. It's not about rules. It's about energy, attention, presence. The people you lose weren't stolen, they drifted. Because something emotional died before anything physical began. You want to keep someone? Lead. See them. Stay present. Not just when they're close, but when they're pulling away. Don't beg for love. Become the kind of presence that people are afraid to lose, because it's so rare, so real, and so rooted that nothing else compares. If this opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe for more brutally honest truth delivered without fluff or filler. Comment the exact moment that hit your soul the hardest. Share this with someone who's starting to feel the fade. They need to hear it now. Like this, to make sure this kind of message reaches the people who are silently watching their connections slip away. By supporting this channel, you help bring back truth, presence, and power in a world filled with noise, games, and empty words. Let's build clarity. Let's restore leadership. Let's never again lose what matters most, because we weren't paying attention.